Oh, there we go. Awesome. Thank you for pointing that out. That is awesome. So, thank you for letting me know that. The thing with these streaming apps is you have to remember, you kind of got to go through all the settings each time because it will save whatever you did last. Whatever you left the last setting at. So I must have had it on mute when I was doing the. See, now that makes sense. Um, that's hilarious. So I was doing um, on Friday. I was doing a video on the Landsea Aero Leveler, and I was leveling my own lawn with it, trying it out for the first time before I take it out on like client properties and things like that. And I thought it'd be kind of a interesting idea to just adjusting my glasses to kind of have a live stream going while I am also filming a YouTube video, so you can kind of get behind the scenes. And nobody mentioned anything about the sound until the very end. Somebody had said something, and when I watched it back, I noticed that it was on mute like the whole time. And so it's one of those things where you kind of forget. It doesn't. I wish these apps would give you kind of like audio levels on the screen, like you could see like the dancing lights to know that you're connected and audio is working. Otherwise, you got to rely on nice folks like yourself to actually point it out if there's something that didn't work in terms of audio. Because of course you're doing a million other things and you're going over your brain when you're trying to live stream while you're mowing on a client property. A lot of other things you're thinking about. So yeah, I ended up deleting those live streams from Friday because there was no audio. You couldn't tell what the heck I was talking about. Just kind of explaining my using that arrow leveler for the first time. Kind of the issues I was coming across with it just from not ever using one. Once I figured it out, then it became very easy. Discovered kind of the sweet spot of using the arrow leveler to basically level only once your soil is kind of already spread out, but not to use the arrow leveler for the initial pushing the piles of soil. So we're at this house again. I guess I should start over. It's Tuesday, the 26th of May or 27th of May. And I'm back at this kind of normal house you guys have seen probably many times. This one always just seems to work out for live streaming. Always good signal here. It poured rain yesterday, so I didn't do any mowing. Normally I would try to get a head start on some of the lawns, but it was just mowing so heavy, or raining so heavy that I was like, nope, not doing it. Not even gonna bother. Decided to stay home and work on some content. Recorded the podcast episode that came out today. talking about the leveling experience and what I learned. Hello. Yeah, it's yeah, the tree's getting out of control. The dappled willow. The dappled willow never ceases to amaze me how much it grows. Yeah, yeah. It was a rough winter, but it always bounces back. We've been trimming this what now, like twice a year now or so. So. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can probably get to it pretty quick. I can probably get to it pretty quick right now. To get it done. The other, yeah, yeah. The other tree bounced back a little bit. It had all the. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So I'll trim this one again, and then I'll go through the other tree there and just. No, no, they're okay. Yeah, I can work around. Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, yeah, they're massive. Yeah, it took away from your little table space. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, yeah. You got a nice little tranquil area. All right. So client coming out to making sure the audio is back there. Asking me about this dappled willow. Trim this tree. I trim this tree usually twice a year. It just grows so fast. It's in a. It was planted in a very poor location too. Obviously, it was a lot smaller when they planted it, or whoever planted it. Um, so ends up being needing to be trimmed twice a year. Just kind of shape it into a ball. Always looks nice. But the tree in the middle there, the middle of that little garden bed island there, you can see it's kind of lopsided. I had to. She wanted me to cut that down. It was all diseased and it had like broken and split and stuff. Um, but I decided last fall when I did it to just take all the dead stuff out first and leave it, see if could be saved. And sure enough, this year it like bloomed more than it had before. After I cut literally half the tree off of it, all the dead stuff that was all cracked and rotten and broken on one side. The only problem is it's kind of lopsided looking now, but it's not the side you look at from the house. So I'm just going to go through it now when I come back to do that willow, and I selectively go through it and prune because you can see all the branches now. What has leaves, what doesn't. It's hard to see in the fall when all the leaves were gone and it just looked like the whole thing was dead. So I got a better idea now of where it's growing, where it's not, and ended up saving the tree. Got actually quite a bit of suckers coming off of it because I did cut a lot of that dead wood off of it there. You can see here like this whole area here, and then down there was all split. It was like a windstorm. It was like hanging so low. But yeah, we'll have to clean all that up. Just go through it and take all that, anything on there that's still kind of diseased looking. Trim it all up. That'll be actually a good another live stream. We can do it on another day. Setting up a tripod. Do some trimming, some pruning. Nice and quiet. With some hedge trimmers, battery hedge trimmers. Alright. Let's go. Actually, you know what? I want to go around those pots and just make sure. Just clean those up a bit. I was saying before I found out that the audio was not working earlier that washed my truck and trailer this past weekend. So it's looking nice and shiny. Take my glasses off so I can see a little bit better here in the shade. And I'll have to grab the bag from the truck. I didn't use it on the first lawn of the day. I just side discharged. And so I put the bagger in the back of the truck so it wouldn't be just sitting in the trailer. choke. Maybe not. All right. I gotta tighten this bolt. This safety keeps coming off, coming loose. Grab the bag. Said I threw it in the back of the truck this morning because I just side discharged the first lawn. Didn't want the bagger just sitting in the back of the trailer when I wasn't around. Not that anybody would steal an old bagger, but be more, somebody being mischievous, tossing it in the bushes or something, just for fun. Yeah, but I went and washed the truck this weekend and the trailer. Just did a quick wash, nothing crazy. The truck took forever though, because it had like moss and everything growing in all the spots. But I tell you, it still looks pretty darn good for a truck that's literally turned 20 years old this year in January. January 20th is the production date on that truck. 2005. Still looks pretty darn nice. Adjust my headphones. A beautiful day. Tomorrow is supposed to be getting into like summertime temperatures. They're warming everybody. So it's going to be a hot one tomorrow. And then Friday, apparently we're back to rain. Around those tree roots.
Martin Velez says, hello, good job. Hello, welcome to the lawn mowing live stream. Martin, let me know where you're from, or where you're watching from. Cool to know. Hungary, wow, that is quite the distance. Hungary. Well, I just had lunch, so I'm not hungry. Sorry, dad joke, I couldn't resist. Appreciate you tuning in to my lawn mowing live stream here in, you can see, good old Canada, West Coast. I'm in a suburb just outside of Vancouver, British Columbia. And it is 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Tuesday. Got the old turf tracer on this one. This machine is 2009. 2009 model. Still going. Tilt the camera and see. I'm a gardener also. Have a nice day. That's awesome there. Martin, have a nice day. Appreciate you popping in to check it out. So once I start mowing here in the back, I'll put the camera on the tripod so you guys can see a little bit better. I'll start with the other side there. So I'll do the perimeter first, point of view style, and then when I get around the corner, I mow that section. I will around. Martin just subscribed. Awesome. Thanks, Martin. So I'll mow around here, then when I get around the corner, put it on the tripod. So if you have any comments, you can leave them in the chat there, but obviously I put the phone on the tripod, so I'm not going to be able to see the comments until I grab the phone once I've done this little section. So with this yard being a bit of an odd shape, I just break it up into sections. Mow this area first. move on to the next area. Normally I would go around, do the whole perimeter first of the entire yard, and then start, doing different sections. But since I got you guys on a tripod, I will stay in camera view. Mowing at 2.5 inches. See my old Encore bagger has some tears in it that I need to fix from when setting it on the ground. That corner there, concrete pavement. It's torn up. So you got to get a like industrial needle and thread, sew that up. I don't think regular like thread for clothing would hold it. So I don't think like Home Depot or something would probably have something like that in like their hardware section, like just like one of those like leather type all type things or something might work. Let me grab you guys, and we'll knock out this other section here. Keeping the tripod a little bit low so that it's more stable. Other comments at the moment. A little bit crooked, but side of the yard is sloped, so the camera's on a bit of an angle. Little tripod I have that I'm using just has the little fold-out feet. Doesn't have legs like a normal tripod. Where you could adjust one shorter on a slope or an angle. This tripod's nice because it folds up compact and I can put it actually in my pocket. It's almost time for another round of fertilizer as well on this line. Usually first week of June is when I do the next round. I'm going to move you guys again. I'll move you into this corner over here where I traditionally do it so you can see both sides of this island. It's a bit of a glare on the screen, so hopefully that's a good angle. Couldn't quite see the screen with the sun. Behind me over there. Another thing to note on this these live streams is I'm using the ISO2 Link 2.0 Bluetooth hearing protection. with the optional boom light accessory, which plugs into the side here, puts the mic right in front of my mouth. This unit has active noise cancellation when you're on phone calls, which also works, incidentally, when you're filming videos. It actually lets you use it kind of like a wireless mic, which works great for these live streams. But for the majority of you guys who are not doing content, if you're looking for a good Bluetooth headset to just use while you're working and to be able to answer calls, this literally gives you a sample of what it sounds like if you're on a phone call with me and I'm using a piece of equipment. Now normally, I wouldn't stay on the equipment if a customer was calling. I would turn the mower down and walk away from it, leaving it on idle. But I can say that I have, including even this morning, multiple times, my brother-in-law, who also mows lawns, will call me, and we'll be on the phone together talking while we're both mowing lawns, and we'll have full conversations for like an hour and a half, kind of keeping each other company while we're working. With these IsoTunes headsets. I use the Link 2.0 with that boom mic. The one my brother-in-law uses, I gifted him, was the IsoTunes Air Defenders, over the year style, lightweight model. Unfortunately, those ones don't use the microphone, the optional microphone. They have the built-in mic. But it still sounds pretty good. Probably not as clear as these ones, but not too bad. Just kind of finishing off this little section here. Hopefully I'm still in view in that camera. Curve back around here and then set that last little section here right in front of the camera. Yeah, definitely slow down though. The mowing. Here are the clippings. Because I haven't even emptied the bag. When it's growing crazy here, less than a few weeks ago, you're actually emptying the bag 2 or 3 times here in the back. So definitely time to hit it up with another application of fertilizer. You can also see by the color too. It's not as dark green as it was. And not quite a full bag on the back. Like I said, sometimes I'm here and it's like 2 or 3 of these full during what I always refer to as hell month, when we're getting a ton of rain and it's been fertilized. Though, admittedly, we didn't have much of a hell month this year. We had a very odd dry spell already through April and May. I'm not quite complaining because, actually, I'm just going to do this up here to roll it. I'm not quite complaining because, of course, I've been mowing wet lawns for 20 years. So having a spring where lawns aren't wet is nice. Although I do know that also means that we're probably going to have a really dry summer
which means lawn mowing will probably maybe even cease to exist at some parts of the summer if we don't have all that rain. It's been on here for, this is my 20th year mowing lawns, and I can confidently say in the last 5 years for sure, but possibly even as many as 8 to 10 years, totally noticed the difference in climate, weather patterns and stuff, being out here every day. But yeah, definitely the last 6, 7 years for sure, just much more extreme weather events where we would have normally, even as I was a kid growing up. Just isn't the same type of weather patterns. Still the same kind of amounts of rain in terms of how many days a year, but just much heavier rain now that we never used to get. And then summer events that are like, growing up it was always like 2 months, July, August, that was it. And now you see some years where it's just like a drought that's like so extended. Tons of forest fires is what like dominates every year now. Smoke in the air during summers. You look up and instead of blue skies, it's all brown with the haze and the smell of wood burning from hundreds of acres or hectares of forest land going through wildfires every summer. Yeah, the bag is in pretty bad shape. Needs some mending. Needs some mending. All right here. Look, it's like 2 layers. It looks like the outer layer is torn, the inner layer is starting to tear as well. So I'm gonna have to find some heavy duty thread. Probably Amazon actually. You could probably find something like that. Grab the Milwaukee handheld. Loving this little handheld blower. Got a good kick to it, the dual battery version. Very comfortable too, ergonomic. And the nice thing is, with these smaller properties that I do, for a handheld blower like this, I'd like to say that I could get through an entire day with just 2 batteries. I got 2 8s on here. 2 8 amp hour Forge batteries. But the truth is because I can actually get it through about 2 or 3 days on just 2 batteries. Just blowing off the clippings and stuff that I'm doing. Still waiting on the Milwaukee lawnmower to arrive. Again, that's been back ordered for a while apparently. So I think when I last spoke to Milwaukee, they said they were going to try and send me the actual tool-only version, so just the mower itself, because there doesn't seem to be, or there seems to be an issue with the kit version in terms of just being back ordered. So they were going to try sending me the mower-only version and just send me separate batteries and stuff for it to try out. Just because it's been a couple of months now, I'm waiting on it. And kind of losing the opportunity here in terms of being able to really try it out. Luckily though, as I was saying on an earlier stream, my brother-in-law went and bought one of the Milwaukee mowers, and granted he is old school and does not like change, and he really likes the mower. I was actually very surprised that he would like a battery-powered mower, just because, again, he's old school and gas I figured would just be easier for him to continue what he knows. But he really enjoys it. The only thing he misses from using his X-Mark commercial 30 is just the size. I think he said he logged like 40,000 steps last week of one day. Going back to a 21-inch mower versus the 30. So he's trying to figure out his workflow with it and how many batteries he needs. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to offer him any advice with that because I have not used the Milwaukee. Alright, so that's it for this one. I'll have to come back maybe Friday if the weather holds up. Like I said, they're supposed to say it's supposed to rain, but things are always changing, so don't know if it holds up. If the weather turns out to be nice on Friday, then I will come back and do that one, do that dappled willow and that pruning. All right, so back at it. Oh, it is cooking in the truck already. Ooh-wee. And yeah, it's a warm day already. According to my watch, it is well, currently it says it's only 20 degrees. Well, 20 degrees outside Celsius. So inside the truck, greenhouse effect, it's going to be quite a bit warmer. Luckily, I got some ice water with me to drink. It looks like my ice is melted. But yeah, that's going to be, I think, a wrap on this one. Not sure. I guess we could drive to the next one and see if you guys don't mind hanging out on that kind of chest POV view. And I'm gonna have to put the headset aside because once I start the truck, the Bluetooth is gonna switch anyways. Come along for the ride. Let's see what we can do. It's warm, 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 warm. I am sweating. Maybe about 3 minutes or so, 3 to 5 minutes, depending on traffic. I think there's construction on this side. There's definitely construction going back the other way. But over here it should be okay. Get to the next neighborhood. We'll see if it's the conditions are all right. We're doing a live stream over here. Almost there. We can come up with neighborhood. This one too you guys have seen. May do live stream that. Do a little U-turn to get onto that side. Then park in front of the house. Back in a quiet neighborhood. Unfortunately, the neighbors parked in front of their house there, so I'm gonna block their driveway, which I don't like doing. But what it is, they have all their cars here, so they're all home. Cars here, they're kind of messing me up. Can't see where I'm positioned there. What are we at here? Alright. And the audio should have switched back to the Bluetooth headset. Not my best parking. Neighbor's parked one of his trucks in front of his own house, but it kind of messes me up a little bit. There. Not too big of a deal. Should be able to squeeze through there. Check the battery on that one. Let's see if it needs. Yeah, we're down to 1 bar, so I'm just going to switch it rather than wait for it to run out. See the power station go in there. Charging that Exmark battery. Now it's down to pulling 61 watts. You can see there. So that means the battery's almost done. Usually it'll be around 400 watts that it's pulling while it's actively charging. And I'm going to grab the tripod. Throw that in my pocket. Super handy having that Blue Eddy power supply. And I can confirm actually that Blue Eddy is also going to be sending their car charger 1 kit. So that's their kit that they have that installs in your vehicle and connects basically to your vehicle's electrical, like battery and alternator system, directly in the engine bay. And it comes with all the wiring and everything you need, and allows you to hook up directly to that Blue Eddy power station, so that obviously when you've got the car turned off, you're using the power station's power to charge your work tool batteries and stuff. But then every time you get into the truck and drive around your next property or across town or whatever you're doing, it's providing up to 500 watts of charging power to the Blue Eddy. So basically it's replenishing the Blue Eddy every time you're driving. So I think that's going to be a nice little combination, having the Blue Eddy AC180 with the car charger 1 kit. If I could get one more charge out of the Blue Eddy in terms of like one more battery charged by using the charger 1 kit, that would be awesome, because it would just be that icing on the cake. The like I said, the Blue Eddy, I've been able to use it for charging up to 2 of the Exmark commercial 21 batteries, and I have 3 batteries, so that gives me 5, basically the equivalent of 5 batteries, being able to charge 2 batteries worth while I'm on the road. So if I could increase that by 1 more and be able to charge all 3 of my batteries once while out in the field, then I think that would be awesome. Because most days I go through maybe 4 batteries worth. So the 3 plus 1 charge. Last week with my Wednesday, had another client with another big property. So I had to dip into 5 batteries. So I basically used my 3 X-Mark batteries plus recharged 2 of them once for a total of 5. And I finished off the day with 1 bar left on the last battery. So on that last house, what I did was I took that charger, since I had it with me, an X-Mark charger, and I just plugged it in the house, the client's house, because it was a new client and the lawn was overgrown, so I didn't know how much I would need. Luckily, I didn't need it at the end, but it would be nice to be able to get that like equivalent of 6 batteries, since I've got 3 physical batteries anyways on that motor. It's always nice having that safety net, right? Having more than what you would actually need. And then you don't have to sweat it if there's problems or get into like really heavy growth. Hopefully you guys can see that the sun is just glaring on the screen. I cannot really see what the camera's seeing right now. It's getting warm. All right. I'm sweating. Glasses off. Checking comments. Also see. Stay. Oh, pull the blower out. Let's check out this stick I found. This was lodged underneath my navigator. It looked like it had been there for a while, and it was getting all chewed up by the pulleys. See all the burnt spots? I could actually smell like burnt firewood smell when I was using it. Decided to have a look underneath and found that stick lodged way up. Between where the hydro pumps and the big intake fan were. All right, what are we doing for battery on this one? We swapped this out already, didn't we? Yeah. Did swap that one out on the previous 2 houses ago. And here we're doing that looks pretty good. I'm at 2.5 inches on the front, 2 inches on the rear. So a little bit of a pitch on there. It's very lumpy. It's bouncing around. Almost needs to go up a little bit on this one. It's interesting how different times a year, even from week to week, at times depending on the growth, that the height you can adjust or will need to adjust, where you can go weeks and weeks and weeks and be mowing at say like 2 inches or 2.5 inches, and then all of a sudden it kind of feels like you need to raise it up. When I get to the backyard, I will do the tripod for you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Put them in the comments. You can see when I get to lawns like this, I talked about this actually on a little clip I did on that Landsy lawn leveler.
little short reel I made yesterday and posted. Trying to mow my lawn as short as I could to be able to level it out with sand. So I lowered this mower to 1 inches, which is the lowest that it allows. But because of that, and because I'm on a really lumpy lawn, I had to go really, really slow. So in that clip, I explained, you see I'm actually like almost crawling because the mower's so low compared to what it normally mows, and the lawn's so lumpy that the bouncing around could potentially, damage the mower, bend the blade, damage a crankshaft, even though there's no crank, but the main shaft. If you were to hit the ground or something because it's going lower than normal, maybe it's a bump. So on lawns that are lumpy, tend to have to mow a lot slower. Also with these battery mowers, they're so much lighter than the gas versions. And then you add the weight in the rear if you're bagging clippings with no cast iron engine in the front. You make that front end really lightweight. So if you go too fast on a lumpy lawn, the other thing that can happen is it starts to bounce a lot, but then it causes mist spots while you're mowing. And it just looks really uneven. It's just because you're going too fast. Now, lumpy lawns are something that I have to deal with on every lawn because of the amount of rain that we get here. There's so much soil compaction. It's all uneven. So it leads to a lot of lumpy, bumpy lawns. I always get so envious when I see on social media these guys posting stripe videos and stuff. These perfect lawns. It's that is so rare to see the average house have a nice lawn like that. To be able to do stuff like that. Right, gets into this bag. Start knocking it back. That bag's good when you gotta fight with it to get the clippings back out. Alright. Get this. Perimeter done, and then I'll set the tripod. Gotta check the height here on this mower. Generally, I have to mow this backyard a little bit higher. In the front, there's a lot more thatch, junk in this lawn, lots of moss, so it's more spongy. it's kind of in between. You keep it at this height, or
hard to see.
that'll work. Hopefully the phone doesn't fall over. I'm going to keep it at the 2.5 inches in the front, 2 inches on the rear. Do another second perimeter cut. Give myself a little more room to do my turns. I'm going to start doing my back and forth. What a beautiful day. Sunshine wise. So nice. When I'm going in this direction here, the sun's at my back, I really feel the heat on my black uniform shirt. And it's not even that hot out. So it's only 20 degrees Celsius, apparently. Check the bag here. That's pretty full. I'm gonna go empty it out. Just bear with me. I didn't let that one get too full, so I don't have to fight with it. If you have any comments at the moment, I'll check them done here. Of course, the camera's on the tripod, so you can't see the comments if there are any. Hey. We're definitely into the full swing of the lawn care season, of course. But what I mean by that is there's always this point of time in the season where I almost get like insomnia because I go to bed and I end up waking up multiple times at night, and all I'm thinking about is the lawns I'm going to be mowing the next day. You guys get like that? It always happens towards like the height of the season. The beginning of the season, not much. At the end of the season, no. I think at the beginning of the season, you're just kind of out of the rhythm, so you're not really kind of looking forward to it yet. And at least as I've gotten older, and at the end of the season, you're just ready for the season to be done. You're just so tired. But it's this section in the middle where you're kind of out of your winter blues. Your body's now had plenty of time, a couple of months now, already since March, to be conditioned to mowing lawns all day. And so it's like exciting and fun. You're like, and the weather's a little bit nicer. You've gone kind of past, at least for me, past the rainy season. And so you just like have anticipation, excitement in the middle of the night for the lawns that you're going to be able to mow the next day. So I'm in that spot right now, that time of year. Just get like insomnia from it. No questions. All right. Let's put this tripod back. Let's see how full our bag is. Got about half. So I'll just take the mower over there. But it looks pretty good. I said it was kind of on the border for height. I have to kind of figure out as well what I'm going to do in terms of mowers. Once that Milwaukee one comes as well, if I should get rid of some. At least probably the gas ones. I haven't used any of the gas mowers other than the turf tracer and the navigator. Besides those two, I have not used a small gas mower, and well, we're about halfway through, almost halfway through the season here. So it would be about 2 seasons worth.
since I switched to battery. So that point becomes how long do you hold on to gas mowers for if you're not using them.